3-for-1 special. Welcome back, everyone, to the channel. 3 Vikings quarterbacks in one video.
That's something.
Very interesting topic. Will the Vikings bring any of them back? They bring all of them back? Probably not.
That's highly unlikely.
We got, just in case, KEENUM. We got Sammy, Sleeves, Bradford, and we got Teddy, 2 gloves. Let's start with Case. I have the same teams up for every guy, so some of these teams might not make sense completely for like a guy like Case KEENUM, who's looking to start and should start. But so with that being said, I'll take a team like the Panthers off the board. That's for someone else on here. They got Cam Newton. They're all settled in.
So then,
I think some of these teams we can rip off pretty fast.
Yeah, while we're at that, let's take the Patriots off.
All right, we'll take the Patriots off if I can find them here. And there we go. Patriots off the board. But really, these other teams could be in the market for a starting quarterback. There's some of them that probably wouldn't be, like the Chiefs. I think they're obviously very confident in Mahomes because they traded Alex Smith. They're very confident in him, but they could use a emergency guy that could play.
Speaking of confidence, the Jags seem pretty confident that Bortles is their man.
Yeah, once thought maybe one of the QB needy teams, maybe not anymore. I'll take off the I was about to say a team, then I just decided to go in a different direction here. I'm going to take off the Dolphins. It's either Tannehill or a young gun or both. It's not going to be Keenum and Tannehill.
Yeah, I think so. I think you're right on there with that.
Thank you.
Take the Bengals off here.
No McCarron, but they still got Dalton as their guy. They're pretty confident with that. So I think it's the same situation as the Dolphins. It's going to be Dalton and a young guy.
Young gun.
Young gun. I like it. I will take off even though it somewhat makes sense to the Giants because Shermer loved Keenum, I think same situation. It's Eli and a young gun, or just Eli and who they currently have, which is Davis Webb. But it could be magical if they just cut Eli. Maybe it's low possibility, but it was thrown out there a little bit. They cut Eli. They go with Case. I think they would have cut him by now, though.
I think if they cut him, though, or like I think again, that's
if they cut him, they'd get Case, either Case, Bradford, or Teddy, and they draft one.
I think it would be Case. I think you're drafting one no matter what. And then
if Barkley's there, they might have to pull the trigger.
If he's there,
Shermer loves his running backs. We're getting off topic a little bit.
Yeah. The thing with these teams, it all really depends on Kirk.
It really does.
He can throw off
these
every
are like
one
the
of
top
these.
teams for Kirk. There's 2 teams that we can get rid of, I guess, first for him. But this isn't a Kirk video.
Yeah, but
this is Case Keenum. But yeah, you're right though. Kirk's the first guy to go. Do you think Case is the second quarterback, most wanted quarterback, I should say? Maybe not the second one off the board. Maybe teams know that they're not going to get Kirk or they're not going to get Keenum. Maybe A.J. McCarron's the first one off the board. But do you think the most wanted?
He scares me.
It's obviously Kirk. You can't count Breeze because he didn't get the extension yet, did he?
No, he did not.
And that's interesting. But you expect Breeze to be gone. If he was in the market for real, he'd be the first one. Then Kirk, and then who's the third one? It's either Keenum, A.J. McCarron. You look at the other 2, Bradford and Teddy.
I'd put Teddy above both of them.
We'll get to that in a little bit. I almost gave away my thoughts on one of these guys.
Keenum just scares me because
he had an excellent season, but that's one season.
Could he be a system guy? Yeah. Because he was not the same.
Well, it wasn't a specific system, I don't think. I think that's a system where you can go somewhere else and be good. I think it's the players. I think you look at Thielen and Diggs, and I mean, he didn't have Dalvin Cook, but McKinnon was good at catching the ball out of the backfield. Line did pretty well, but he was athletic. That was surprising how athletic he was and elusive. But Thielen and Diggs is a legit duo. Or do any of these teams up on the board have a better duo than Thielen and Diggs? I think you maybe look at Demaryius Thomas and Emmanuel Sanders.
There's talks that they might want one of them out.
Yeah. Larry Fitzgerald's on the Cardinals, but who else
they don't have a duo.
Yeah. Bills if they bring Benjamin back and draft one maybe.
I think I can take one off here.
They got Zay Jones too. Bills could be looking good for the future.
Bills scare me because they don't even know what the heck they're doing at quarterback.
I mean, they have an idea, I think. I think we just don't know.
Yeah.
I think the whole Tyrod Peterman thing makes people say that. I think Peterman's the future. 5 picks in 2 quarters, that's the future.
Wow.
Yeah, that was a joke.
Yeah, no.
In case before the Bills fans go off on me, that was a joke.
I'm going to just swipe off the Minnesota Vikings here. I see them in the hunt. I see them, as the the spot for Kirk, and that's why I'm taking them off.
Do you see maybe one of these other quarterbacks we're about to discuss back in Minnesota before Case?
Yeah.
Yeah. I will take off. This is tough. There's one team that's been like in the Twitter world and in the NFL news world that's kind of separated themselves from the other ones, but I don't know if it should be that much of a gap. I don't think we should be that like if there was a percentage. Obviously, there's one that has a way higher percentage in the NFL world, but I think it's closer than people think. I really think all these teams will get a hard look at him.
Yeah.
Because look at that team of the Bills. They may want a younger quarterback, but they just made the playoffs.
No, but they've made it clear they want a different style than what they have. I can see Keenum being that guy, but I don't.
But some people assume like Tyrod's gone and we're gonna get another young quarterback. Like trade up, get a Josh Allen, trade up, get a Baker Mayfield, sit where you're at, get a Mason Rudolph, Lamar Jackson. People forget they just made the playoffs and they played with, even though they didn't score.
They were experimenting.
They played with the Jags. They played with the Jags. I don't care how many points they scored. They played with the Jags. And they have 2 first-round picks. I think if you get defensive starters and get a quarterback, watch out for the Bills.
I can see them trading Tyrod, signing Keenum, drafting a quarterback with one of those picks.
Though, because if they put him on the market, people are going to like, they're probably going to cut him. So I don't think we need to trade for him. So if somebody does trade for him, it's going to be like a late pick.
I mean, it's better than nothing.
And the Cardinals, I think the Cardinals are a team that could use a veteran guy.
Yeah.
But there's reports they might trade Tyrann Mathieu, so maybe that hints at a rebuild. I don't know. Maybe they got Steve Wilkes, who loves building a defense, mainly a front seven. Maybe he wants to retool that over there. I mean,
I think I have my final.
I'll take the Browns off because I think they're either going to draft one,
and draft
one and get McCarron.
Yeah, they're going to do a 2-for-1 here. I'm going to take the Bills off just because like there's just a lot of what they're gonna do. Like we have to see if one move happens, then this happens. But like we don't know if they're gonna do that.
Yeah, I mean, people are just speculating with the Tyrod thing. Maybe Tyrod got him to the playoffs, and that was without playing him a game. Maybe that could have got a better seed. So maybe they just stick with Tyrod. We don't know. We're just speculating. People are just speculating. So probably the right move taking him off next. I'll take off the Jets.
Yeah, I would too.
I just don't know if I see Keenum on the Jets. That's really
I don't.
I have to just. But they could. Report was AFC team is an unnamed AFC team is trying to trade for Nick Foles. I don't know why, but I think it's the Jets. So I think they could be going the draft route. They could still make a push for Kirk Cousins, Nick Foles, and they're a team that could be in the rebuild mode, possibly. So maybe a younger quarterback makes sense.
Yeah.
Broncos versus Cardinals.
I
mean, the obvious team is the Broncos, but I don't know why I wouldn't rule off the Cardinals. They're still in the Kirk Cousins hunt, but they're probably the 4th best odds out of the 4 teams that mainly were.
I think everyone's kind of even in the odds. It all depends on his will to, like, how much he wants to win.
But just who's next? Like we know the Broncos plan A is Kirk Cousins, plan B is Case Keenum. Like who is the Cardinals plan B? Is it draft or is it Case Keenum or is it Teddy Bridgewater or is it Sam Bradford?
I think because they're closer to the rebuild route, it'd be draft. I think they're.
So are we in agreement on the Broncos then?
I'm gonna take the obvious choice.
I would watch out for the Cardinals though. I can see him on the Cardinals, and there's not enough talk on there. Free agency is not gonna go as how we think it. Everyone makes it seem to be. It never does.
Yeah, but it's gonna be a nice domino effect. That's the best part of it. As soon as one guy gets a huge deal, everything just starts going nuts.
It sounds like teams know who everybody's gonna get, which is weird because you're not allowed to talk to anybody. You're allowed to talk.
I've seen some risky business,
but I don't know. Interesting debate. Let me pull all the teams back up on the board here. A lot of teams bring up. Man, who are we gonna go with next year?
Are we taking Sammy or
we'll go
Teddy?
We'll go with Sammy. We got a little teams out of order here.
Sammy sleeves.
Move the Broncos over here, so we're not.
Can't cover those sleeves.
We can't cover those sleeves. Those are dangerous sleeves.
Those are wow.
Why are they dangerous? You might ask. You might underestimate him looking at him.
Yeah, he looks like a goofball.
He looks like a guy that may have a bad knee. Oh wait, he does.
He has a couple bad knees. Let's be honest.
I heard Dion during the combine talking. The Vikings. Mayock mentioned the Vikings have 3 solid quarterbacks on the market. Deion Sanders then said 2.5. Was he talking about Bradford? Or was he talking about
his knees?
Was he talking about Teddy or Bradford? I think he's talking about Bradford.
He has to be talking about Bradford because Teddy has one bad knee. Bradford has two.
I like that comment. Dion's a funny guy. But we got all the teams up on the board. I don't want to mess anything up here. We're good. We're good. Who we want to take off for Mr. Bradford? I mean, he could be a backup. He could be a cheaper guy.
I think out of the three guys here that we have, he is the most likely to be like, okay, I'll back up. He's a veteran guy who he'll know his role.
People assume that's Teddy, but I don't know.
I think Teddy wants to start. He might end up being a backup, but I think Teddy, he has like, oh, I want to start no matter what team he thinks he's what he was pre-injury.
Out of the three, I think the one that has the most open mind, I guess, would be Bradford, but the one that's most likely to be a backup is probably Teddy.
Mm-hmm. So I'm going to take off. This is tough. Because this is the one quarterback I think has a shot at going back to Minnesota, even if they get Kirk. Again, because of this whole backup thing. But I can't see the Dolphins going after another quarterback with bad knees.
Yes, I agree.
They have a lot of bad knees going on over there.
We rip them off the board there. Again, I think we'll take out the Panthers early. They got Cam Newton. And even if they would go for a backup, well, Derek Anderson's their backup. That kind of just defeats what I was about to say because I think they need more a mobile guy that compares to Cam Newton.
He's been there forever.
Doesn't really make sense.
How old is he?
He's getting up there.
Too old.
And he doesn't think anything's funny.
Really?
He doesn't think anything's funny. Don't forget.
Jeez.
Nothing's funny.
Yeah, he needs...
No funny business.
Well, we're funny business guys, so...
Yeah.
I'm going to have to take off the Giants here. I think they're going to go Eli and a young gun.
Eli and a young gun. But Shermer, he does like Bradford. That's proven.
Yeah, but unless they cut Eli, it's not
teams.
happening. Yeah. And I don't see them cutting Eli.
Unless there's just no market for Bradford. Just sits around for a little bit.
I think, honestly, this is going to be the quarterback that just like sits there for a long time.
It's a shame because it's injury, too. Out of the three Vikings quarterback, if all 100% healthy, not future, right now, who has the best arm talent? It's definitely Bradford.
100% Bradford.
Bradford.
He's going to literally... Everyone's going to start signing like crazy. Free agency's going to go nuts, and he's just going to be sitting there like a dope.
There is another big thing is how these offenses are changing. I think they need to have more mobile quarterbacks, and he's just lost all mobility.
He had it, but we don't know what happened.
But yeah. I was going to take out the Patriots off the board, but I think they might be interested in a backup. I can see him going there as a backup. Not too far off from Brady, not skill, but too off from Brady's style, I should say. I'll take off the Jags. If they do get a backup, I don't know if it's his style really, so I'll take off the Jags.
And I can see the Jags like maybe laking a young gun to kind of put some pressure on Bortles.
They don't have a whole bunch of needs, so maybe they just draft one late in the first for a backup.
Yeah. I'm going to take the... Take the Bengals off. Same reason as before.
Next one I was going to take off. I just don't see him there, and I don't know.
And I see them going young gun with Dalton.
Yeah. Same with the Chiefs. Do they want Bradford as Mahomes' backup?
I mean, he's a smart dude.
Yeah.
With a nice young quarterback, you want that smart guy in the quarterback room with him.
Yeah.
I'm going to take the Bills off here.
Bills? I can actually see him on the Bills. It's kind of weird, but I can see him on there.
This is tough.
I think we take the Patriots off.
Yeah.
Even though I can see him as a backup, but it's really hard to say where he'll go.
I have an idea. I have my final two. Am I up here to take one off?
Yeah.
I'm going to take the Broncos off. Just because we had KEENUM.
It's either
there.
Kirk or KEENUM or a draft pick.
Yeah. Or two of those.
Maybe. Man.
I got my final two. Don't you dare.
Don't you? I don't see the... Man, I don't see the Jets going with them.
Oh, we're still good.
I just don't see it. I don't know. I don't see it. I see a younger guy, maybe Kirk, too. This is tough.
I'm taking the Cardinals off the board.
I was kind of leaning towards the Cardinals there. I think that probably would have been my pick, honestly.
Really?
Yeah.
We can make the case for all three.
Yeah. I heard Rapport say if there was one out of the three that were going to go back to the Vikings, it'd be Bradford, but I'd like to think it's the younger guy. I don't know.
Yeah, but Teddy's mindset, he thinks he's starting.
Yeah, but teams may not. There's rumors of the teams that are most interested are teams like the Panthers and the Chiefs, he's not going to start either team. So you'd rather be a backup on the Vikings than be a backup on those teams. I don't know.
Why would the Chiefs take him? That doesn't make sense.
It's a good fit over there in Kansas City.
But don't you want a veteran in the room
I don't know.
with Mahomes?
It's a good question.
I think really for me it's these two teams. I think he either re-signs as a backup or the Browns put that mind in their quarterback room to maybe he's not their guy, but maybe he can help with the development of some of these young guys.
Yeah, I saw we shouldn't remove the Brown. We shouldn't sleep on the Browns for Bradford.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Is the report. But yeah, maybe Bridgewater wouldn't come back to be a backup because if it was the case, if he was coming back to be a backup, who would the starter be? It had to be Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, he's not. He would come back as a backup if Bradford was there.
Yeah.
Because he's like, oh, Bradford's knee can blow out any second.
If it's Kirk, he might get a long-term deal and he doesn't really get hurt.
Yeah.
So I guess that makes sense. So we going Vikings here.
Vikings are. I think for me it's a toss-up between these two.
I think the Browns are more likely to get McCarron in the draft pick. So
let's say Vikings.
Going back to the Vikings.
You heard
Very
it here.
Interesting.
Teddy Two Gloves.
We put them all back on the board for Teddy too. Gloves. Okay, there's Teddy. Oh, he's getting blocked. Sneak the Jags in there.
Oh, nice spot.
I think we're good, really. We were removing some of these teams off the board.
Let's take some of these obvious backup ones.
Yeah, but the Panthers are interested in with Norv Turner. The whole Turner staff is on the Panthers.
Well, that's true.
They like him. I mean, he's definitely a great backup for Cam Newton, too. But
I'm going to take the Chiefs off. Taking the Chiefs off because what I said when we were talking about Sam, I just think that you want a veteran mind in that room with Mahomes. Like, they had Alex Smith in there, and I think that was perfect. Like, literally a perfect fit in terms of helping his development. So you got to bring in another guy kind of with that sort of mind.
This is my favorite free agent in all free agency.
Prediction, does he start wherever he goes next year? Day one. If you had to right here, right now, pick yes, he's going to start day one or no?
I think he will.
You think he will?
I think he will because now I'm seeing these teams, even if they draft a quarterback, some of these quarterbacks are developmental guys, and he gets in that training camp and he doesn't get hurt, he shows what he's got, I think he ends up being the starter.
Nobody really knows what he's got.
Yeah, that's true. I'm a big Teddy Bridgewater fan. You guys watch my other videos. My expertise falls under the draft, and since I've been doing the draft, my number one quarterback I ever scouted was Cam Newton. My number two is Teddy Bridgewater. I have him over Andrew Luck. Obviously, can he be that prospect after he got hurt? I don't know.
He was making strides.
He's the most accurate quarterback I've ever scouted, and he's very mobile for being a passer first. I'm a big Teddy Bridgewater fan. Hopefully he's okay. I think he can start somewhere. I really like Teddy a lot. I don't know. For the Vikings, obviously they're a win-now team. They know more than anybody if Teddy's good to go or not. So if they choose Kirk over Teddy, I trust.
Then something's scary for me.
Yeah, maybe.
That's very scary.
But they even if Teddy's okay, they're in a window where they need to win now. They do. Yeah. Their defense is still young.
Yeah.
So they can win for a few years here, but I trust the Vikings' judgment if they choose Kirk over Teddy. But some of these other teams, I don't know. I'll take the Jags off the board. Weird because Bortles and Teddy were in the same draft class. I had Teddy 1, Manziel 2, and Bortles 3 in that draft class and went the opposite order. All right, Manziel went second. I think he could have been good, but he's an idiot. We'll take the Jags off though. Just not really feeling that one. I guess he could. Maybe he thinks he can outplay Bortles, but Bortles just led him to the AFC Championship. Remember Teddy, the year he started, he led the Vikings to the playoffs there and won 10 games.
That's true.
And he was young.
I'm gonna take the Vikings off here.
Don't think it's happening?
I don't think that's happening.
I think they would like him back, but I think they may piss him off good with this Kirk. If the
Kirk stuff is all true and these rumors,
I'm just scared about his. I mean, he practiced last year. I heard Mike Zimmer say an interesting thing. People say we know how Teddy is, but it's not the skill how we know. We know if he can move. We know because he was scout team. He was playing the other team, their opponent's quarterback. So we don't really know if he can play our offense. And he was playing backups and he's playing in scout team. So he was playing somebody else. He was saying that
is weird.
it makes sense. It makes sense what he was saying. So we don't really know if we don't really know 100%. We know a little bit, but can he play in our offense? So interesting topic there, but there's some teams that are maybe not as likely as the others here, but I love the fit. I love the fit.
I love one fit specifically.
Do you think you'll end up on that team, though?
I can see it.
Who are you going to take off here, though?
I'm going to take the Dolphins off.
That was one of my fits.
That was one of your fits. We can keep them.
I don't think it happens, though.
Okay. So yeah, it's okay. I like the fit.
I love the fit. I can see them making a push for him, maybe. They're looking for a young, he's still a young quarterback. Yeah, they're all free agents.
I'm gonna take the Bills off. If I'm the Bills, I'm going to try and take a shot at one of these bigger name guys. And if I miss, then I'm going to draft. I think I'm going to draft a quarterback. You got 2 first-rounders. Your defense is still good. That's what you got to do.
I think Tyrod leading the Bills to the playoffs.
I like Tyrod. I'm not one of these guys.
Do better if he's healthy.
I think, yeah.
That was one of the teams I saw. Like, if they get him and they start him, I don't know. I'm a big Teddy fan, but I just hope he's okay. I'll take off the Panthers. There's reports that the Panthers are interested in him, but again, I think he wants to start. But that Norv Turner connection. So, but he's got to know he has like no chance of playing with Cam there.
Yeah.
And it's report that he wants to do a 1-year deal, like it's almost a prove-it deal. Like, what is he going to prove being on the bench?
If that's the case, that takes my team out of the equation. But I'm going to take the Browns off here. I think he wants to be competitive.
I think they should go for him.
But I don't think they will.
But are they going to do it?
The injury is going to scare a team like the Browns who are in full rebuild. You don't go after a guy who's kind of banged up.
Teddy with like Saquon and oh my God, they're not going to do it, but they should. Take the Bengals off.
Okay.
I think Dalton's their guy. Maybe he won't. I think he can outplay. He can. I think he's better than Dalton. I think he thinks he's better than Dalton, but
he thinks he's better than anyone in the league. He's got some confidence. He's got some crazy confidence. I'm gonna get rid of the Broncos here. I don't think that's the style of quarterback they're kind of going for.
Maybe it should be. They've been going for that pure same pocket.
If your formula is not working, maybe you got to try something new. But the Broncos are still
their formula has been working with a late round pick of Simeon, Paxton Lynch. Who looks like a bust, maybe. Brock Osweiler, late round pick, needs his weapons. I don't know.
I'm gonna take the Patriots off.
Yeah, I love him on the Patriots as a future. I can see it, but most likely not going to happen. I can just see him playing for the Patriots in the future. He's got to know.
Just being unreal.
He's got to know that Brady's time's almost up. So learn from him and just, my God, I can see that.
I mean, let's make the case here because
Two of these teams, he'd probably be the starter. On one, he probably wouldn't be.
My team, my pick, if I'm Teddy, like you just said with the Patriots, he can go there. But if this 1-year stuff is like true, then my theory doesn't make sense.
So you think the Giants, but if the 1 year?
Right. I think he can go there for like a multiple year and just
if
know.
If they took him, that would tell us they're thinking about not going
and
quarterback
Shermer
at 2. Yeah.
And like, I think like he needs to understand like, with either the Patriots or the Giants, he knows like I sit 1 year in a quarterback room with Super Bowl like champion quarterbacks, learn, and then I'm gonna be the starter.
What if? Probably not. But what if the Cardinals brought Adrian Peterson back? Teddy and Adrian Peterson.
Yeah.
I like him on the Cardinals. I like him in the Jets are a team I really like him on, and they should do it. But kind of like the Browns, I don't know if they will.
Yeah.
I think my pick would be the Cardinals. I can see him on the Cardinals. I think he can do good on the Cardinals.
Yeah, I'm going to take, even though I like him on the Giants and I like him like learning with Eli, I have to take the Cardinals because I think he wants to start. And I don't, even if it's sitting 1 year, I don't think he wants to do.
Him. I was saying I'd love to see Lamar Jackson on the Cardinals. I would also love to see 2 Louisville guys. I'd love to see Teddy on the Cardinals.
I mean, you still got to draft one. Even if they go after and sign Teddy, because his knee's a question mark, and you got to put some fire under him.
It's gonna be very interesting to see. I'm a big Teddy Bridgewater fan, so I'll be rooting for him no matter where he's at. I don't know, But I can see the Cardinals. I can see seeing them make a playoff push with him if he stays healthy and they retool. They don't need to rebuild. Retool this defense and maybe other pieces on the offense. Give him a receiver besides Fitzgerald. Interesting debate with these three Vikings quarterbacks. Do they actually land Kirk Cousins? That is the question. Maybe he goes elsewhere. Maybe one of these quarterbacks is starting quarterbacks for the Vikings. I know DeFlippo wants a mobile quarterback. He's come out and said that. So that's why the Bradford reports is a little interesting because he's not mobile.
No.
He even said, quote was, I don't want a quarterback that looks like they're stuck in mud. Bradford seems to look like that.
Bradford has sand in his pants.
I like that. I think that's true.
He literally runs with sand in his pants.
Maybe he puts it in there to cushion the knee.
I think it's just there.
Well, okay.
All right, that was, yeah.
Please like, subscribe. Hope you enjoy. Got plenty more draft and free agency off-season videos to come. Stay tuned for all that, and that'll do it. Goodbye.